California, believe it or not, has been dictating a lot of the emission standards put on vehicles that never see the state of California. Okay, so this goes back to the Clean Air Act in the late 60s, early 70s. And California, for reasons unknown, has been allowed to be issued waivers, which allowed them to dictate emission standards for gasoline, diesel-powered vehicles beyond the federal requirement. And 11 other states have followed suit. It's called CARB, the California Air Resources Board. Okay, what the Trump administration is doing is he's using what's called a Congressional Review Act to strip that power away from them where they're exempt, and it's done at the federal level, not the state level. Now, there's a ton of gray with Trump doing this. What a Congressional Review Act, it was enacted, I think, in the late 90s, where it gives Congress, they can make a quick decision. All it takes is a simple majority, and they can rewrite the rule books for an affiliated agency, specifically the EPA, because CARB is a state agency, not a federal. Now, Trump's workaround for this is because 11 other states have followed suit with the state of California, now it's federal and he can do this. I am not like a congressional historian. This is like a big picture 360 overview, but I'm in the auto industry, so I pay attention to this kind of stuff because I want to know how it affects me so I can better service the customers. If this goes through, it's already passed the House, by the way, and it needs to go through the Senate, because the Republican Party owns all three to the executive, congressional, and the executive branches of our U.S. government, right? So once Trump signs it, this is in law. Now, these can be undone. It takes what's called a supermajority in the Senate, and the supermajority is 60% or better have to vote in favor of this to undo this. Now, here's Trump's reasoning behind this, is on diesels, it's called diesel exhaust fluid system, which takes a certain fluid, puts it into the exhaust to reduce harmful emissions from pollution. These systems cost a lot to install, cost a lot to manufacture, and are very costly to service maintain after the sale. Okay, we don't work on diesel trucks here, we work on light duty vehicles. Now, for light duty vehicles, it's called a cylinder deactivation system. And each manufacturer, Chrysler, I forget it's called Stellantis, I still call it Chrysler. General Motors and Ford have their own versions of this. So you got a pickup truck going down the road. You know, it's Newton's laws of physics. Once an object is in motion, it doesn't take that much to keep it in motion. So if you're cruising and you got an 8-cylinder pickup truck and you're cruising on the highway, you don't need all 8 cylinders to keep that going, okay? So these systems will kill 2 to 4 cylinders to reduce and increase its fuel economy and reduce emissions. Because we fix these systems here. You know, if you got a General Motors and it's got that active fuel management system and those lifters fail, well, that's a few $1,000s to fix. Okay, so the Trump administration sees this as a costly additional cost that consumers pay because California says that we should pay these the way they view pollutants. So if this all goes through, it will make vehicles cheaper because it'll be cheaper to maintain, cheaper to operate, and cheaper to fix. That's his reasoning behind this. What research I've done, if this goes through, this opens up a whole new can of worms. It would be the judicial branch a new way to look at Congressional Review Act. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. It's passed the House, it's got to go to the Senate, which will pass and goes to Trump's desk and he's going to sign it. And then, you know, California, bye-bye. You no longer dictate the emission rules for the rest of the countries. So it'll be interesting to see, but this is stuff that I pay attention to that I know will impact you, and I wanted to share that with you. Thanks.